I'm Clyde Lewis, and this is Ground Zero Behind the Scenes. So last night, I do this show about the North Korean missile failing. I talk about the Chinese and the escalation going on in the Philippines. Well, I did a show with Tex Mars a couple weeks ago talking about the Chinese model for the New World Order, and this is the plan. And what's going to happen is there may be some sort of a negotiation or a clash or whatever between China and the United States, and when that happens, we will see ourselves eventually be thrown in or molded in with this type of compromise where we'll have a government that's socially or that's socialism, collectivism, just like they have in China. Well, it was just an idea, it was a thought, it was a theory that I had that I presented at many seminars and get-togethers where I have spoken in the past. And now it seems to be taking on a life of its own. Now, there are other people out there that I think are thinking the same, but Steve Quayle, who has a radio show and a website, stevequayle.com, interviewed a trucker, a guy who was being escorted through Mexico. He was just passing through Laredo, and he was being escorted through Mexico by a Chinese militarized police force. He was being escorted through the area because he wasn't supposed to see that there's an encampment of Chinese nationals or Chinese military training near the border of the United States. Now, this is all rumor. I have nothing to verify it, only that I was speaking about this, and then somebody decided to start sending me emails with pictures that he claims are proof that this is happening. So the first thing that was sent was this picture. Now, this is a satellite photo, I guess from Google Maps, where right in here is where allegedly we see this encampment of all of these Chinese army or Chinese nationals or whatever they are. And what's funny is that these are all little condos where they are allegedly being housed right here and right here. Now, then, more emails, okay? You get another email, and this is what I get. You get all these Chinese, what appear to be Chinese army guys standing next to the Mexican army. And so, but the thing I don't understand is the scenery and whether or not this is for a movie set. I get the feeling that this may be for a movie set. I don't know, okay? So I'm just saying, this is what I'm getting. A lot of people thinking, or at least speculating, that this is truly going on. Then, I get this. Looks like Chinese army training in some area that's supposed to be near the border of the United States. There's another shot. I'm getting these emails, and I'm also getting information slowly trickling in. A lot of people are believing that this is why they want to fortify police forces near the Mexican border. A lot of people are also speculating that when I did the story about the shelters that are being bought by Homeland Security, that these some 10,000 shelters that they purchased and this 450 million rounds of ammo and all the other rations are because they're planning to do a border war with the Chinese nationals that are situated in Mexico. And I keep being told, well, you know that the movie Red Dawn is being remade and it'll be released in November. And the movie Red Dawn, it's no more the Russians attacking the United States on their own soil, but the North Koreans and the Chinese. So I think there's a lot of speculation. These just might be from the movie. I don't know. I have not had a chance to research this. I just know that this has been coming in droves to my website. People talking about Steve Quayle's opinion, Tex Mars and my appearance in Austin on his program. We're having Tex Mars on later to discuss this with us. I want to get down to the bottom of this because if this is true, this could very well be a story that's breaking and we need to pay attention to it and try to find out why the mainstream news isn't talking about it, because when that missile was fired, it was fired from North Korea, it was heading towards the Philippines, and in that area right now, there is a confrontation that's escalating between Filipino fishermen and the Chinese with battleships and all kinds of other artillery in that area, and they're demanding that something be done, and the United States is watching this closely. This is something you need to keep your eye on. I don't know if it's true or not, but the Chinese equation needs to be figured in these plans for the New World Order. I'm Clyde Lewis, and this is Ground Zero Behind the Scenes.
In the 1800s, letters were written, and particularly one particular letter, between two high-level players in the secret society network, in which the three world wars were described of where they were going to go. And this letter included the detail of countries that would be involved and how it would be started. And it described the First World War, with the Germans brought into conflict with the rest of Europe and America. It described the Second World War in the same terms and said it would lead to a Jewish state in Israel. And the Third World War would be triggered out of the Middle East, involving Israel as the trigger, and would bring about the final global conflict, which would lead to them being able to offer the solution to stop this ever happening again, which would be a world government and a single world army. And the idea of that is to say, if we have a single world army and we bring an end to national armies, then we can't ever again have a war. What they won't tell you is those that have manipulated the war will be the same people that offer the solution to the war, which is exactly the structure of control that they want.